This is the Realme GT2 Pro, Realme's newest flagship that is probably the best Realme phone you'll ever see. The main highlights on this phone are the brilliant AMOLED display, powerhouse Snapdragon processor, dual 50-megapixel cameras, and much more. The first thing you'll notice, of course, is the design. The back of the phone is made of a bio-based polymer that actually feels like paper. It doesn't feel hefty in hand and is very comfortable to grip onto. I really dig the design on this. The frame is made of aluminium. At the bottom, we get the USB Type-C, SIM tray, and the bottom-facing speaker. On the right side, you have the power button, and the volume rocker is on the left. To unlock the phone, you have the under-display fingerprint sensor, which is fast, accurate, and snappy. One of the best features on the Realme GT2 Pro has to be the display. You get a beautiful 6.7-inch LTPO2 AMOLED display with 120Hz of refresh rate. The resolution on this is 1440p, and it has support for HDR10+ with a max peak brightness of 1400 nits. The display is gorgeous. I loved watching HDR 10-bit video on this. Definitely a strong point on this phone. Even outdoors, it's quite comfortable to view the display on this. It's sharp, punchy, and clear. Next, we've got the cameras. You get a 50-megapixel f1.8 main camera, a 50-megapixel f2.2 ultra-wide camera, and lastly, a 3-megapixel 40x microscope camera. Not sure why Realme opted to put a microscope camera on here over a telephoto, but it is what it is, I guess. Images look great out of it. The processing is done really well with pleasing tones, contrast, and HDR. It is also very consistent between the wide and the ultra-wide camera, which I really liked. The ultra-wide camera also comes with a mode to enable 150 degrees of shooting, which is ever so slightly wider than the usual, but there's also a fisheye wide-angle mode included for some reason. I don't know who's ever going to use that. Even with the 2x digital zoom, it looks pretty decent for social media sharing. The microscope camera is the kind of thing you'd use like once or twice to show to your friends and then completely forget about it. You get up to 40x zoom in that mode. That gets incredibly close to the subject, but you do have to get very, very close to it in order to get that. Take a look at these grains of sand and cat's fur. The portrait mode's alright. It's slightly softer than the main camera. The background blur is pretty decent. Now, video on this can go all the way up to 8K at 24 FPS. The video stabilization was actually brilliant. The colors looked great, HDR looked awesome, and the tone overall was very, very nice and consistent between the wide angle and the ultra wide angle camera. This is in 4K and in 1080p. Now, another place that this phone shines is the performance. We get the top-of-the-line Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor with 12 gigs of RAM that is expandable up to 19 GB using the RAM expansion. We get a dedicated GT mode widget that can be added to the home screen to quickly enable the peak performance of this. That, and also you get the gaming mode once you activate a game that can help you monitor things like the FPS, CPU percentage, temperature, and more. Let's talk about Genshin Impact. With the highest settings turned on, everything maxed out, I was getting between 50 to 60 FPS consistently. Visuals looked amazing with a very impressive touch response rate. I'm going to test this out further, but just gaming on this for a little bit, it's a no-brainer solid point of this phone. If you're looking for a gaming phone and you like Realme, definitely get this one. Lastly, we've got the battery life and the charging. The battery on this is a 5000 mAh battery, and thanks to the provided 65-watt charger in the box, you can go from 0 to 91% in just 30 minutes. Incredible how fast this charges in spite of that massive battery. This will easily last you an entire day with medium to high usage, leaving you at about 15 to 20% at the end of the day, which is really impressive. This is definitely the most premium phone you can get from Realme right now. If you're a fan of Realme devices and you're looking for a beast flagship phone, the Realme GT2 Pro is definitely an easy recommendation. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you again in the next video.